Husband wants to give my dad's luxury car to his parents. What happened next will surprise you. Paige, a shy woman with a few close friends, found herself in a marriage that was slowly unraveling. She had met Derek in college, drawn to his charm, friendliness, and dedication to his studies. Their relationship had blossomed quickly, and they married after graduating. As time went on, however, Paige noticed a change in Derek. He became more self-centered, spending less time with her and more time with his friends. He also started to rely heavily on Paige financially, despite having a part-time job. "I do contribute, you know," he'd say dismissively when Paige gently suggested he help more with expenses. "Didn't you say you'd handle the living expenses when we moved in together, Paige?" His words left her feeling uneasy. She had reassured him about finances, confident in her stable job, but now she felt trapped in a cycle of fleeting happiness and prolonged solitude. Paige found it difficult to share her struggles with anyone. She didn't want to worry her parents, who were genuinely happy about her marriage, but they likely sensed something was amiss. "It's been a while since you visited," her dad said one evening, inviting her for dinner. Her mom prepared a lavish meal, welcoming her back. During the meal, her dad mentioned that her Aunt Melanie had recently visited and expressed a desire to see her. "She's always been so spontaneous," he said. "A free spirit, lively, ambitious, and independent." Paige appreciated the subtle way her parents were reconnecting her with family support. She remembered how much Melanie had cared for her, playfully lamenting that Derek had stolen her. Melanie was more than an aunt. She was a confidant, someone Paige could discuss things with that she couldn't with her parents. A few days later, Paige met Melanie at a cafe. "You know, Paige," Melanie said, observing Paige's outfit, "marriage is just the beginning of a lifelong journey for a woman. You should always feel confident and attractive, no matter what. Your clothes can make a big difference. Don't forget to take care of yourself." Paige realized how much she had neglected her own interests. She apologized for not keeping in touch. "That's typical of you, Paige," Melanie chuckled. "It's good to be honest and serious, but being too timid usually stems from a lack of experience. But I was thrilled when I heard you found someone special. I thought, finally, Paige is taking a step forward." Paige felt comfortable enough to share her concerns with Melanie. "I thought even someone as reserved as me could make a relationship work with Derek," she said, "but doubts have begun to cloud my thoughts." Melanie listened attentively, nodding empathetically. When Paige finished, she gently inquired, "I suppose you haven't mentioned this to your parents, have you, Paige?" "No," Paige confessed. "I even hesitated to tell you today. I didn't want to acknowledge my vulnerabilities to anyone. I thought I should be capable of managing this on my own, to be truly independent." Melanie respected Paige's wish to handle things independently and didn't press the issue further. However, she assured Paige, "If you ever really need help, let me know. First, if my dear Paige asks for help, I'll be there for you, no matter where I am." A month later, Paige's mom called. "When you have time, could you come over? It's not urgent." Paige decided to visit her parents the next day. As she approached the house, she noticed a new car parked in the driveway. "Dad, is this car new? Did you just get it? Can I take it for a spin?" she joked, her excitement palpable. "Don't worry about that," her dad said. "This car is for you, Paige. You use it however you like. It'll come in handy." Her mom whispered, "We saw this car in a TV commercial, and you said you liked it." "So it's our gift to you," her dad said, smiling warmly. "You've been going through a tough time lately, so we wanted to cheer you up. If things get tough, just drive this and come home anytime." The car her dad gifted her was an SUV from a renowned international brand, a thoughtful gesture that brought Paige a sense of freedom and support. Her dad had even arranged a parking spot near her condo for the new SUV. Paige laughed in disbelief, barely able to grasp the kindness of the gesture. Later, as she drove downtown, she reached into her pocket, found the car key, and pressed the button. The lights of the SUV flashed brightly around her. It was then that she heard a familiar voice from behind. "What's with the car?" She turned to see Derek, her husband, who hadn't been home for quite some time. It felt like they were living separate lives. His presence left her momentarily speechless. He looked at the car with a smug grin. "Ah, I see a gift from your parents, right." Every time she faced Derek, Paige struggled to find her voice, but she was tired of feeling diminished. "Derek, don't you care anymore? Do you even care about me?" she managed to say, gathering her courage. Derek dropped a bombshell. "Are you just realizing now? Did you think I loved you all this time? It's ridiculous how hopeful you are." His mocking laughter echoed in her ears. Something inside Paige snapped. "Then why did you marry me?" she retorted, louder than usual. He replied coldly, "Wow, you're going to be that cold about it. So marrying me was just a meal ticket for you, huh? And now you want the car too because it's wasted on me? That's just great." Derek seemed unfazed by how hurtful his words were. With a chilling indifference, he added, "You know, we're getting divorced. Without me, you'll never find another man. Think about it." With those harsh words, he left without a second glance, leaving Paige feeling both angry and heartbroken. Her head pounded with a headache as she sat in the driver's seat, trying to calm herself. Eventually, she called her Aunt Melanie for advice. After a few days of consideration, Paige agreed to the divorce and moved back in with her parents. They welcomed her with open arms, and life began to feel peaceful again. However, that peace was short-lived. One afternoon, Derek showed up at her parents' house, accompanied by his parents. They all sat down in the living room, and Derek's father spoke up in a stern tone. "We're here to talk about our son's divorce." When the discussions about the divorce began, Paige issued a stern warning to Derek. "If you don't agree to the divorce, I'll use my parents' connections at the university to jeopardize your future. It wouldn't be difficult to harm the career of a junior registrar if his daughter files a complaint." Derek truly loved Paige, but he felt her approach was overly aggressive, and it seemed she was trying to intimidate him. "We could easily contest the divorce," Derek's father argued, feeling betrayed by Paige. Beneath her simple appearance, she's manipulative and greedy. Poor Derek. I heard she paid him to keep his distance. She must have entertained other men. We should take this to family court and assert that Derek was coerced by his wife. However, if there's a genuine apology, things might be different. For instance, if Paige gives up the car she's been driving, it might help smooth things over. Derek and his parents listened in silence, absorbing his father's protest. Suddenly, the doorbell rang and Paige's mom answered it. Aunt Melanie appeared behind her as she returned to the living room. "Sorry I'm late. How's the discussion going?" Derek's family had met Melanie once at Paige's wedding. "What are you doing here? It's rude to barge in like this. We're busy right now. Outsiders should leave," objected Derek's mother. "No, don't be like that," Melanie replied, unfazed. "You've heard about Derek's divorce, right?" "How would an outsider like you know about that?" Derek's mother asked. "I was informed by my brother earlier. I couldn't miss such an important moment for my dear niece." "You're probably here to stop the divorce or for money," someone accused. "Can you still say that after seeing this?" Melanie retorted, pulling out a stack of documents from her bag and laying them out on the table for everyone to see. "I hired a detective to look into this. It turns out Derek has been cheating on Paige with multiple women, despite being married. He partly came home because of it. He took advantage of Paige's kindness and even asked her for money." The revelations silenced the room, turning the tone of the meeting on its head as everyone processed the gravity of Melanie's findings. "I was immersed in my university research, so when I did manage to come home, we shared meals and went on trips together. We seem just like any other married couple, right, Paige? Say something," Derek implored, his voice laced with desperation. "Derek, you don't need to defend yourself. We'll handle this. It's not your fault." His father reassured him quickly. That's right. These documents from who knows where are surely fabricated. Derek would never engage in such acts. He's a kind and outstanding son. His mother protested vehemently. You might be kind to your parents, but it seems your kindness doesn't extend beyond that. Like father, like son, indeed, Aunt Melanie interjected sharply. Then she pulled out a photograph from the documents. I was at a hotel for a business meeting recently and saw Jared there. He was with another woman, looking very cozy, so I had the detective look into Jared as well. The results were just as I suspected. Do you understand now? Derek's mother's face turned pale as she grabbed the documents and examined them closely. What is this, Jared? How long has this been going on? It's all lies, isn't it? She demanded, her voice trembling. Morgan, stop looking. Give me that, Jared said, looking panicked, trying to snatch the documents, but it was too late. Morgan, visibly distraught, confronted Jared directly. You've been cheating on me. The car you wanted so badly was for her in these photos, wasn't it? No matter how hard Jared tried to calm her down, Morgan wouldn't listen. The conversation about Derek's divorce was momentarily forgotten as Morgan stormed out of the house, tears streaming down her face, with Jared trailing behind her in a futile attempt to explain. Left in the ensuing chaos, Derek blurted out, "Hey, wait, what about me?" and followed them out, equally confused. The rest of us were left in stunned silence, but Aunt Melanie had a satisfied look on her face, giving me a knowing wink. It was clear she had anticipated the dramatic unraveling of events, revealing truths that were perhaps long hidden, but necessary to confront. After the tumultuous events, Aunt Melanie shared with Paige that Derek's parents had eventually divorced. You won't fall for such a terrible man again. Let's make you more attractive. I'll teach you everything about grooming yourself as a woman, Melanie encouraged. Despite her busy schedule, Melanie frequently visited Paige and took her out for meals and shopping trips. During this time, Paige absorbed a great deal from her and gained a new perspective on self-care and confidence. A year after the divorce, Paige made a pivotal decision to attend graduate school. She dedicated herself to her studies and personal development, which was a transformative period for her. Time flew by, and one day, while at a street intersection, Paige heard someone call her name. She turned around to find Derek. "It's been a while. You've changed a lot, haven't you?" he remarked, a hint of surprise in his tone. Initially, Paige hardly recognized him. In Derek's eyes, the woman he once knew as his plain ex-wife had evolved into someone stunningly beautiful and confident. Meanwhile, Derek's life had taken a downturn following his parents' public divorce scandal. He had dropped out of graduate school as his parents, Jared and Morgan, had cut off their financial support due to the chaos he had instigated. Struggling to pay for his tuition and living expenses, the carefree life he once enjoyed was a distant memory. The women who had once been interested in him had drifted away, and his former glory had dissipated almost overnight. Now he stood before his ex-wife, who appeared utterly transformed. Just as Derek was about to suggest catching up, a man approached them. "Sorry for the wait. Are you a friend of Paige's?" he asked. It was Bryce, the man Paige had recently started seeing. His arrival was perfectly timed, underscoring the new chapter of Paige's life that Derek was no longer a part of. While Paige was out with Bryce, a group of women nearby couldn't help but notice him. "Wow, that guy is handsome, isn't he? He's so tall. Could he be a model?" they commented, admiring Bryce's striking appearance. Bryce, noticing Paige's brief interaction with someone from her past, casually acknowledged Derek with a nod. "He's someone from my past, but it's okay. We're finished talking. Let's go, shall we?" Bryce said, taking Paige's hand. Derek stood there, stunned, as Bryce confidently led Paige away by the hand without giving Derek another thought. Bryce and Paige walked towards the crosswalk. Paige kept her gaze straight ahead, focused on the path in front of her and the future that awaited. She didn't look back even once as they left. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe for more awesome stories like this. Stay blessed and healthy. Thank you for watching and see you in the next story. Bye.